To clarify the statement of many languages being backwards, I will bring forth a few facts. Fact 1 is that all holy languages, as they are called, like Arabic, Hebrew, Amharic, Aramaic, and Sanskrit, are written from right to left. English, Latin, French, and Spanish, also known as the Latin Vulgate, are all written in the opposite direction from left to right. The reason for this is the direction you read and write plays a heavy role in the direction your mind is moving, since the mind turns more of a wheel in thought. Also, this affects what side of the brain you predominantly use. Many of the words in these languages, especially the Vulgates, when looked at backwards or sounded out, the vibration when taken literal gives you the actual origin of the word and its manifold involvement in the erosion of the intelligence of the human race. Amor is the word for love in Spanish. Amor is the son of Venus. When you look at it backwards, it spells Roma, which is of course Rome. This proves that when you turn the word backwards, you don't get the opposite meaning, you just get more of the meaning. That is another valuable key to learn. Since letters are truly numbers, let's say ABC is 123. No matter how you move the words around, it will still equal 6. In English, love comes from Jove, wife of Jupiter. We can conclude a J is also an L, just facing the other direction. At times what will be uncovered will be shocking and hard to believe. If you remain patient and strengthen your courage, you will see that this will become the key to your emancipation and self-empowerment. The system in place redundifies to the lowest degree. Once you are on the trail, you will find multiple connections. The art of magic itself involves an accurate system that cannot be altered too much, or else it will have no effect. Much power lies in repetition. This is why so many words are often spelled the same, but each is given a different meaning to increase its use. For this reason, it is easier to spot them once you know the basic parameters. Does this make sense? Since. 95 PAGE. If you may think for one moment that your mind is not directional, consider for a moment that the eyes see everything upside down first. They then must flip the image you see before it sends it to your brain, all of which happens so fast you never notice. As we may at times forget, we are actually standing on a globe that rotates and our feet are stuck to it by gravity, lest we just float off in space, so in fact we are at times upside down. If we are only using the two eyes as a gauge to authenticating higher life forms, we will remain disappointed at our discoveries. One must use other abilities in conjunction with their eyes, such as the third eye or pineal gland. Most have calcified pineal glands due mainly to fluoride intake, meat, processed starches and artificial sugars. To reverse this, one will need to ingest good amounts of gotu kola, alfalfa, parsley, wood betony, and mugwort. Gotu kola is by far the most effective of all these. Reason 79. The eyes are easy to be tricked. In fact, many places in our matrix have optical illusions over them, so you cannot perceive what is really there with your naked eye. As seen in folklore, they often spoke of hidden doorways to other dimensions. Focus your eyes on the dot in the center of this illustration. Now move your head back and forth. Notice the wheel spinning? Your perception can easily be manipulated by those who understand the complete body down to the atomic and cellular levels. 96 PAGE. Reason 80. When looking at gates like the one pictured in Reason 66 in Detroit, you will never see anything enter or exit the gate. They remain on a frequency undetectable by the eye. This is not very hard. They have mastered invisibility because of the inaccuracy of the two eyes. The third eye, however, cannot be easily fooled. Focus on the cross in the center of the illustration. You will notice the dots disappear altogether. If you focus longer, they will reappear and then change color to green. There are a few things that should become obvious to the individual about many of the gods. Their worlds have run far longer than most can fathom, especially since we have a hard time remembering what we did last Saturday. I call this the war against the machines, except it didn't involve the Terminator, it was the terminal they used. The computer has the feature of a huge memory bank. I've seen computer hard drives into the terabytes, which is at least 999 gigabytes. The Cray 6, a government computer, has in its memory banks the dial tone of every phone in the United States. It's funny that to our ears when you pick up the phone the tone sounds the same as any other phone, but in fact they are all different. Part of what is happening to our short-term memory, which is very important because it makes the transfer to our long-term memory, is we store on computers everything we should remember on our own, thus our memory wilts down because it is unused. Even numbers of our close family members are stored in the phone memory banks, not our personal memory. Now people change numbers so much it becomes no use in remembering their number. When we stop logging numbers and watching them, an entire wood of fact is closed to us. If you could watch the random numbers of the day, your every step would be guided in perfection. Numbers are what we call the master language. There will always be a 1, 2, 3 in every culture, thus it is the strongest language. As you see in the Kabbalah and the Abjad, there exist numeric magical cubes, boxes that equal the same amount no matter which way you add them. In short, we lost the battle of the machines on various levels. This is 97 PAGE. Just 1. We must regain the desire to pay attention to letters, numbers, and names. This is the actual exposed program to the Matrix. You can read it if you can decode it. Reason 80. The war against the machines took place in the office building, not on the battlefield. The real Terminator, Arnold Schwarzenegger, is busy at work dismantling our future. Sources say the elite are considering making him the next US president. For the first time that I have seen directly, we will reveal what is at the end of Fourth Dimension. You may see this as a briefing, since we will all reach a point where we must guide our spirit through the planes. Those that have become masters of astral travel report that when encountering and passing through Fourth Dimension they knew not to stop. They reported heavy reptilian ET activity of a weird, unwelcoming kind. Upon reaching the end of the fourth region there appeared what seemed to be an artificially intelligent computer barrier. Something like a giant computer that was alive, that made a noise as if some type of giant engine was running within it. Some would wave this off as absurd, and of course I would too if I didn't have something more to add about another strange sync with this Marchine. First off, we will note on the last Matrix movie it came down to Neo talking to the AI. Artificial intelligence, and making some sort of deal in order to free the people from the Matrix, but that is just a movie, right? AI is actually an important city in ancient Sumeria. This word is pronounced I, like the all-seeing eye. The Atlanteans were also known as the Borgians, which is where the French term bourgeoisie comes from. They claim to be descendants of ancient Atlanteans. A Borg is known to be part human, part organic technology. If you have read any Atlantis lore, you will see their affinity for first crystals and then technology. We also report for those who had made it to the 98 PAGE point of the gate. If they could go that far they had no trouble getting through, it had to open. I wonder if Bill knows about that gate. Oops ops. Reason 81. This synchromistic tarot card is right on the money, featuring as number 17 Borg. 17 is a favorite Masonic number since 1 plus 7 equals 8. As you see, they deal with the double cube, and the cube is evil just like they showed you in the Hellraiser movies. The Masons sent to the US were charged with building the new Atlantis. Atlanta, Georgia has a lodge next to just about every church, if not the church itself. You have Great Athena, Athens right up the road, not to mention the Georgia Guidestones, Dr. Malachi York's pyramids in Eatonton, Georgia, the Olympic arrival of 1996, and many more things linking Atlanta as a key location for numerous plans brought forth throughout history to arrive us at where we are now. The tree in the middle of the garden with apples is wholly an Atlantean concept, just like the flood. The truth is, the masses have still been worshipping the same pagan gods throughout history, clueless to the outcome of such carelessness for the soul. When we fail to investigate the eternal destination of our spirit, it is most certain that it will end up in the hands of the vile. They want it, they know its value. This afterlife is serious. It is this world that is the illusion, and yet you even see in this world the innocent pay penalties in which we would think is unfair. This is not about fair and unfair, this is about you taking the training wheels off and becoming firm about what is your greatest possession, rather than trusting it in the hands of some money-loving guru, lest they lead you astray as they have done many. Did I mention Guru actually means Jupiter Amon in Hindi?